Good evening. It's your Grant Virtuoso Nicole Christian giving you your Tuesday night insight, your 10-minute tip on how to write to win effectively in grants. So one of the main things I want to share with you after probably 15 years of doing this as a consultant and one-on-one with educational institutions, hospital, healthcare, healthcare organizations, municipalities, governments. One of the main things that I find that clients fall into a little trap, and that's the time trap. You have to make sure that you plan ahead and have enough time set aside to write a really good grant. And it doesn't matter who you hire. You can hire the best consultant, the most well-known consultant, the most highly recommended consultant. If they don't have time to write a really good application for you, it doesn't matter. Most federal agencies will allow you about 3 months of a turnaround between the announcement and the due date. Typically, it could be longer than that. It could be 6 months, but usually you're talking 3 to 6 months as a turnaround from the moment that the application is announced until it's actually due. So you want to make sure that you're planning ahead before the announcements come out. So how do you do that? I tell clients all the time when they sit down with me for a consult, we come up with a strategy for the year. So you need to think probably in January of every year, what are the 3 or 4 projects that I want to pursue, and only seek funding for those 3. You can't write for everything. You can't get funding for everything, but you can get funding for certain things. So having a strong strategy is important. Allowing enough time to make sure that you can write a good application is another tip. And finally, I'll leave with you tonight, editing. It is so important that you write strong and clear and concise. It's not just about the spelling, but also about the grammar and knowing what kind of agency you're writing to. If it's a social service agency, then think about the words that they use. What are the terminologies that are common in the industry? If it's a healthcare organization, are there some type of evaluation criteria that they use to determine whether or not they're going to do a program or a project? Think about those things as you write the narrative. As someone who's written grants for a variety of applicants, and my award track record is over $20 million in 15 years, and I can tell you that the pitfalls usually center around time and editing. So if I can leave you with anything tonight in your grant insight, your 10-minute or 5-minute tip, well, actually it's going to be about a 3-minute tip, and that is for you to allow enough time for you to be strategic and about what you apply for, and make sure you edit. Signing off, Grant Virtuoso. Learn more about me and what I do at grantvirtuoso.com. Email me questions, grantvirtuoso@gmail.com, and I'll address that in my weekly video. I will usually post on Tuesday nights. Tuesday evenings will be the night that I post some insight in, grants, the grant landscape, funding, things that are happening, just to kind of keep you in the loop. Nicole Christian, your Grant Virtuoso. Have a good evening, and write strong and write well.